All right, there's no more putting this off. Whatever the comment situation may be, let's roll. It's Tuesday, it's 2 o'clock, and it's time for your tech update. Cheers. Now let's first talk about Microsoft. Now Microsoft, is not a very loved company in the IT world. So we're going to start off there and move our way through several different companies. Now Microsoft recently made an unsolicited bid for Yahoo. Now that was initially turned down by the board of directors, but Microsoft is still pursuing them. The reason why is that they want to get a hold on more search percentages on the internet. Now, Google currently owns about 80% of the searches on the internet. Yahoo about 12, and Microsoft about 7. So if they take over Yahoo, they're going to jump up almost double of what they currently have to about 19%. Now this is big money revenue streams for Microsoft, and this is why they want to take over Yahoo. Now Yahoo has come out and said, hey, we want partnerships with AOL, we want partnerships with Google, we want partnerships with News Corporation. These have never come to pass. In fact, AOL has now purchased the Bebo social networking site, and it doesn't really look like they're really even looking at Yahoo anymore. In addition, Google has only liaisoned with Yahoo to further develop their own social networking operating system. And News Corporation, nothing has been said there. Now, Google has come out and said that if Microsoft takes over Yahoo, it's going to be a detriment to the internet, and that they're worried about a freedom of release of information. I mean, that is just a load of hogwash there. Now, Microsoft has in turn said they are going to do everything in their power to make sure that Google doesn't take over the internet. Well, don't know how that's going to happen because Google pretty much has. Also in Microsoft news, we're going to talk about court cases. Now, back in the 90s, there was a huge antitrust decision laid against Microsoft. And in fact, a huge financial decision was just laid against Microsoft in the European Union. Now Novell is suing Microsoft for, in fact, alleging that it used illegal business practices to kill the WordPerfect and Quattro programs. Now, back in the day when computers ran on DOS, a non-GUI interface, you had WordPerfect and Quattro as the preeminent software packages for word processing and spreadsheets. But once we shifted to Windows, once we shifted to a graphical user interface, Microsoft Office took hold. And the reason why, folks, Microsoft Office was light years ahead in terms of making it easy for people to use spreadsheets, making it easy for people to use word processing programs. In the initial iterations of WordPerfect and Quattro, it was still basically a DOS-based program, and it looked like crap on Windows. Novell is just trying to reclaim a little money here. So guys, forget about it. It's old news. Okay, also Microsoft news, they're going to adopt the Adobe Flash Player in its next iteration of its mobile operating system. Why is this news? Well, it's kind of an admission of defeat. See, Microsoft has been working on its own Flash player and its own Flash type interpretation of that standard. And no one is using it. No one wants to use it at all. No one wants to develop for it. So of course it has to use it for its next operating system. All right, guys, that's the deal. Also, just recently, SP1 was released for Vista. And this is big news, and this is important. Now, for a long time, I've been saying that pundits and professionals have said that the SP1 update is a load of crap. It makes the system even boggier than it already is, and a lot of things run slower. Well, that is true, but what's also true is that it appears that some drivers are incompatible with SP1, and your system is killed. You can no longer use your computer if you install the SP1 update. There are a lot of issues that need to be resolved, and Microsoft has effectively shot itself in the foot with this update. So far so that Penn State University is officially recommending to its students, faculty, and staff that they do not install the SP1 update. Now, I've taken some time to bash Microsoft. Let's take some time to bash Apple. You see, just recently they have been working with the different music labels to announce a new deal. Now, some may say it's a great idea, some may say it is a load of hogwash. But here is the nuts and bolts of it. If you buy an iPod, it's whatever price that device is. What they're now wanting to do is charge you a surplus of $100 US for unlimited access to the iTunes Music Store. Now, considering that a CD is about $10 and a music file is about $1, if over the life of a device you buy more than 10 CDs or 100 songs, that's pretty cool. Essentially, you buy the device, you can download as much as you want. That's pretty cool. But the problem ensues when you have multiple devices. Like, see, I have an iPod Video. I love it. I use it for my office. I also have an iPod Shuffle. I use that for working out. I'm not going to pay $200 when I can simply buy a song at a time, a CD at a time. What Apple needs to do is they need to offer this as a kind of package deal to make it more efficient for users. Also in iTunes news, and this really hits the Windows users, Apple has been saying for a long time that it wants to bridge the gap to its PC friends and offer Safari, which is their native web browser, to the PC users. Now, in the latest iTunes update for Windows, that was an option. And it was like, hey, Safari for Windows is now available, the latest release. How about you install it? This was an optional install, and Apple for a long time has been saying that they are going to do it. Now, a lot of PC users are saying, I don't want this extra software, and whether or not they want it is perfectly okay. But what a lot of people fail to realize is that this is how most software is distributed, as a bundled package to make it easier for users. Now, as an end user, you always have the right to not install packages, and that's certainly okay. I personally would never install it if I had a Windows machine. But where this is really getting interesting is with Mozilla and Firefox. You see, Mozilla developed Firefox. Firefox gets most of its operating revenue from the Google search, which is the default search option in Firefox. So every time you use Firefox and you use the native Google search in it, they get some money. So if Safari gets extra market share through this Windows iTunes update, Firefox is going to lose money. And this is why Firefox and Mozilla are crying foul on this little endeavor here. All right, now we've hit Apple, we've hit Microsoft, let's hit Sony. Now, it's been a long-standing tradition that when you buy a PC, you get slapped with all kinds of extra information, extra programs that you've never, ever even wanted, hardly that you've ever even used. You get trials of Microsoft Works, you get trials of Microsoft Office, you get Norton antivirus, you get McAfee antivirus, you get just tons and tons of stuff that litter your desktop. You don't want it. Well, Sony has come out with a program called Fresh Start, and for $50, they'll remove the programs that you never asked for. Well, consumers saw right through this, didn't like it, lodged tons and tons of complaints against Sony, and they listened, which is something that Microsoft and other big companies hardly ever do. And Sony has said, we'll continue the program, but we'll waive the $50. Good on you, Sony. And let's talk about Guitar Hero, probably one of the most amazing game concepts to hit the console market in years. Now, Gibson Guitars licensed with Activision, manufacturer of Guitar Hero, for the likeness of their guitars in the game. Well, years and years and years ago, Gibson patented the idea of a guitar music game where you hold a guitar, you strum it, and you try to reenact a performance. This is Guitar Hero. And Gibson is now suing Activision for this. Now, come on, guys. You licensed your own likeness to the game. Guitar Hero is 3 years old. If you were really concerned about this patent and this copyright infringement, you would have never, ever entered into a business relationship with them. This is a stupid lawsuit and you need to just let it go. All right, so that's what we're talking about here on Tuesday. Have a great day and we'll talk to you soon.